Ever since I got into film photography, I've always wanted a Hasselblad V-series camera, and I came across this one that was at a local camera shop. It was basically just old stock that never sold from sometime around the 80s. And when I saw it, I knew I had to have it, so I ended up picking it up. It's definitely a camera that should be shot and used rather than sitting on an old shelf in the corner collecting dust. I'm not really into unboxing videos, but since this is something so unique, I thought I would share while I talk about the camera. The sticker price on this camera body was 2,250 Canadian dollars, which even today would be quite expensive, not taking inflation into consideration. However, I managed to scoop up this for 1,500 Canadian. For any Hasselblad V-series camera or film back, you can determine the year of production by reading the letters on the serial number and matching them with VH pictures, and that will determine the date of the production. The 503CX was produced from 1988 to 1993, and my particular model was produced in 1991. As soon as I got the camera, I shot a couple test rolls and was super happy with the results. However, in 2023, Joe and I did a hike and there was an issue with one of the frames where there was sort of like this black bar on the top of the bottom of the frame. It kind of just seemed to fade to black on the top and bottom. It was an issue, it was only on one frame, so I sort of just kind of glanced over it and ignored it. I ended up getting a couple more frames over the next couple of rolls that I shot that were the same. And then we did another hike, which ended up getting 2 completely blank rolls. So it was a huge bummer, and this brand new camera that I was super excited to get, basically my dream camera, was pretty much broken. So I contacted my local camera repair tech. He went over the camera body and the lens and just gave it like a general servicing and sent it back. I shot another test roll just to try it out and see if it worked, but still I got an entire roll back blank. So I contacted my local camera repair tech again, and he actually referred me to another guy out in Quebec who actually has specialized training and experience with Hasselblad specifically in Sweden. It was basically my only hope. I packaged up the camera and lens and sent that out to Quebec for, I think it was about 3 months. After all that waiting, I finally got that camera back, and it was apparently in perfect working order. I didn't really get a lot of information about it, but apparently there was some mechanism inside the shutter that was broken, and luckily he had one last part in order to fix it. So it was working great. I put another test roll through it and it worked out perfect, but at the time I was just feeling so uninspired about photography that I basically just let the camera sit for another couple months. Joe and I had been thinking about going down to Glacier National Park for quite some time now. It's only about a 5 to 6 hour drive from where we live, and we just never went. We kind of learned sometimes you just have to go. We ended up booking a last-minute campsite, packed up the car, and I brought along my Hasselblad 503CX as well as my Leica M4-P and a few rolls of Portra 400 and Gold 200. We stopped in Kalispell to pick up a few things before heading out to set up camp, and then we drove the Going to the Sun road to Logan's Pass for sunset. But first, some PLGs. Since the summer days are so long, we got back from sunset at about midnight and then got to bed at around 1, only to wake up at 2:30 to drive out to the lake for sunrise. Since we were up early already, we were able to get an early start on a hike to another lake. This particular hike was about 23 kilometers or about 14 miles. And by the time we got to the lake, we were feeling the heat. It got up to about 35 degrees Celsius or about 95 American, which is far hotter than we've had pretty much all year. As usual, at the viewpoint, we sat down, ate some Italian center subs, and enjoyed the view. That's about it for this video and this trip, because as soon as we were about to leave from the lake, I was starting to get a little bit of knee pain. I don't know where it came from. I think there was just some tightness in my leg, which was causing some issues with my IT band. But I basically just had to limp back the 12 kilometers and that basically ruined the trip. We ended up heading home and I couldn't really walk for the next 2 days, but I've been working on stretching it and exercising it a lot more over the past couple weeks, and hopefully it'll get better over some time. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I do have a few more videos in the works right now, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.